Love them or hate them, appraisals are not going away anytime soon. If you are in the market for a home right now, or if you are selling a home right now, you are probably more aware of the impact that an appraisal has on the transaction than probably anybody. In the past, they have not necessarily been a rubber stamp, but we didn't run into very many issues with the appraisal. But right now, it is becoming a much more important of the real estate process. And today we're going to spend a little bit more time talking about it, as well as reviewing an article that discusses the impact that it's having on today's buyers and sellers. If you are new to the channel, welcome. My name is Brian. I'm with Lamacchia Realtor. I am a realtor here in the Boston market, and I cover all things real estate on this channel, from current events and news to new technology and different strategies in order to win in this market. So with that out of the way, let's get into it. Okay, so this is an article that was published recently in the Wall Street Journal, and it talks about low appraisals. It says low appraisals stalled 23% of home sales. Home buyers are bidding up home prices as they compete for homes, but appraisals don't always agree with the offer the seller finally accepts. Some homes are appraised below the agreed upon sales price, which could upend a deal. 23% of contracts were delayed due to appraisal issues, according to the latest Realtor's Confidence Index survey. Based on a survey of real estate professionals' transactions, about 12% of transactions were then terminated due to appraisal issues. So think about that for a second. So that is about a quarter of all deals that were put together here in, looks like the past, I don't know what the time frame is here, but I think it was this prior month. So we are in October, so this would be in September. So a quarter of the deals were delayed because of the appraisal, and then about half of those were then terminated entirely because of the appraisal. So this is becoming, like I said, a much bigger issue. In the past, it's been again, not necessarily a rubber stamp, but it's been pretty consistent, and it hasn't been that difficult to build out a list of comparable properties. But right now, the market is just changing so fast that these appraisers simply don't have enough current information, and they're not looking at properties under contract. They're just simply looking at closed transactions. So let's continue on. I don't remember any time where the frequency of buyers being willing to pay so much more than the market data was this high, Sean Telford, chief appraiser of CoreLogic, told the Wall Street Journal. Many buyers are stretching their budgets to win a bidding war, but mortgage lenders will usually only offer a loan amount for the appraised value of a home. When a home appraised is too low, parties must come back to the negotiation table. Sellers may need to agree to lower price, or buyers may have to come up with more money on their own. If all else fails, the deal may fall through. And this is one of the biggest reasons right now why sellers are looking much more closely at the terms of the offer. So if you have a cash buyer, even though it's maybe a lower amount, it is certainly more advantageous for them to accept that offer as opposed to one that has a mortgage contingency. Because if there's a mortgage contingency, then guess what that requires? An appraisal, right? So people are much more interested in cash offers right now than they are in having deals with a mortgage contingency. Appraisers usually factor in recent closed and pending sales to determine the value of a home, but a sale can close in a month or two after going under contract. In a fast-moving market, some home sellers complain that appraisals aren't keeping pace. Appraisers told the Wall Street Journal that they have a thorough assessment for valuating a home that goes beyond what just a buyer is willing to pay during a bidding war. They want to protect buyers from overpaying, Joan Trice, president of the Collateral Risk Network, told the Journal. The Collateral Risk Network is an organization for both appraisers and lenders. I would respectfully disagree with that. They are not interested in protecting the buyers from overpaying. They are interested in protecting the banks from having an asset on the books that is overvalued. So they're trying to manage the bank's risk. I don't know who wrote this, but this is not accurate. In a frenzied market, it is harder to nail down what value is, Jonathan Miller, chief executive of Miller Samuel Incorporated, an appraisal firm, told the Wall Street Journal. Just because the appraiser doesn't agree with the purchase price, whatever the reason, doesn't mean they're wrong. Some buyers are waiving appraisals to make their offer in a bidding war stand out even more to a home seller, but that is lessening somewhat. 25% of buyers waived their appraisal contingency clause in August, down slightly from 27% in July. Wow, so that is a big number. So 25% waiving their appraisal contingency. So that means if the appraisal comes back for anything less than what they've offered and they've agreed to purchase that home for, they then have to come up with that difference. Now, what I think a lot of people are doing is if they have that full 20% down, instead of making that part of the initial offer, they'll kind of keep some of that in reserve. So they might do, say, a 10% down and keep that extra 10% and use it in the event that the appraisal contingency, or excuse me, the appraisal comes back less than what the offer price is. Now, yeah, I've seen it firsthand. In fact, one just came through my email today, and it was a listing in Belmont, which is the next town over. It's a very nice town. They originally listed it for $1.45 million, and it sold for $1.85 million. $400,000 over asking price. Now, it took several months to close, so I'm not quite sure what the deal is there, but I suspect maybe there was a mortgage contingency and maybe they had to get it reappraised. I'm just, again, I don't know the details of the offer and, you know, the mechanics of how the transaction went down, but to have that big of a difference, $400,000 over asking, again, this is not a massive mansion. This is just a single family home, maybe 2,600 square feet in, again, the next town over, which is Belmont. So I don't know. Appraisers, I feel for you. I don't know how you can possibly keep your finger on the pulse and provide data to make sense of these offers that are being accepted for significantly higher than what they're being listed for. And I don't know how it's going to all end, you know, but I think ultimately having an appraisal is a good thing. If nothing else, as a home buyer, it gives you just kind of an injection of reality based on data rather than emotion. So I think it, again, ultimately is a good thing. Obviously, if you're someone who has lost a home recently or a deal fell through because of the appraisal coming back for less than what the offer was and you didn't have the difference to make it up, then you probably look at it very differently. Yeah, so what are you seeing in your market? I'd be really interested to see. If you wouldn't mind just putting some comments down below and let me know, again, what you're seeing. Are you seeing appraisals coming in right at the contract price, or are you seeing them for significantly less than what homes are being going under contract for? If you did enjoy this video, make sure that you smash that like button and also hit the subscribe button to be notified of future videos. Thanks for watching. Take care.